Ayutthaya Kingdom was a Siamese kingdom that existed in Southeast Asia from 1350 to 1767. Centered around the city of Ayutthaya in Siam, or present-day Thailand, the Ayutthaya Kingdom is considered to be the precursor of modern Thailand, and its developments are an important part of Thai history. Whereas Sukhothai was an independent kingdom for only about 200 years, its successor, Ayutthaya, situated in the rich rice plains of the Chao Phraya River basin, about 55 miles or 90 kilometers north of present-day Bangkok, lasted for more than 400 years. During the Ayutthaya period, the Thai consolidated their position as a leading power in what is now central and north-central Thailand, as well as throughout much of its southern peninsula region, since many of Ayutthaya's neighbors called the country Siam, or a similar name to it. The Thai of Ayutthaya came to be known as the Siamese. King Uthong, or King Ramathibodi I, was the first king of the Kingdom of Ayutthaya, reigning from 1350 to 1369. He was known as Prince Uthong, meaning golden cradle, before he ascended the throne in 1350. He was thought to have been a descendant of Mangrai. Ramathibodi I established 4 great officers of state. These were the Ministry of the Interior, Wing, the Ministry of the Treasury, Klang, the Ministry of the King's Household, Wang, and the Ministry of Agriculture, Na. He also codified Thai law. He also established his own capital in the new city of Ayutthaya. King Ramathibodi's reign included Korat, Chantaburi, Tavoy, Tasaseram, and large parts of Malaya. According to a 17th century account by Dutchman Hermanus van Vliet, a renowned legend started that Ramathibodi was an ethnic Chinese, having sailed down from China. After succeeding in trade, he became influential enough to rule the city of Phetchaburi, a coastal town in the Gulf of Thailand, before traveling to Ayutthaya. In 1352, he laid siege to Yasadpura. He was successful during the following year and placed one of his sons on the throne. However, they were only able to keep the throne until 1357, when the Khmer were able to regain it. King Ramathibodi's death sparked a conflict over succession. Initially, his son, King Ramesuan, became ruler of Ayutthaya, but King Ramesuan later abdicated in favor of Ramathibodi's brother-in-law, King Boro Maharaja I. This rivalry for the throne may not have been peaceful. Somdet Phra Ramesuan, son of King Ramathibodi I, reigned as the 2nd and 5th king of the Kingdom of Ayutthaya. When King Ramathibodi ascended to the throne of Ayutthaya, he sent King Ramesuan to reign in Lavo. Upon King Ramathibodi's death in 1369, King Ramesuan traveled to Ayutthaya to assume the throne, but held it for less than a year before being deposed by his uncle, King Baro Maharaja I, the ruler of Suphanburi. Sources differ over the nature of their conflict. Official chronicles state that the older Baro Maharaja ruled with willing consent from his nephew, while Hermanus van Vliet Short History of Thailand indicates that Baro Maharaja's ascension came only after a bloody conflict bordering on civil war. Whatever the case, by 1388, King Ramesuan had gathered sufficient support from his power base in Lavo to return to Ayutthaya and challenge Baro Maharaja's 17-year-old son, Thong Lan, for the throne. King Ramesuan's forces quickly took the palace and executed Thong Lan. King Ramesuan then held the throne until 1395, when he was succeeded by his son Ramaraja. During King Ramesuan's second reign, the king seems to have come to an understanding with the kingdom of Sukhothai, against whom Baro Maharaja had warred throughout his reign. Instead, some sources record conflicts with the kingdom of Lang Na in northern Thailand, and the Empire of Angkor. Ayutthaya chronicles indicate that King Ramesuan took Chiang Mai, then the capital of the Kingdom of Lang Na, in 1390 and settled many captives within the Kingdom of Ayutthaya. A similar defeat of Angkor is recorded as having taken place in 1393 in response to raids from the Cambodian kingdom. He placed his son on the throne of the Khmer kingdom, but he was soon assassinated. Unfortunately, no sources can be found to confirm this from Lan Na or Angkor. A son of Ramesuan and member of the House of Uthong, he succeeded his father to the throne of Ayutthaya in 1393. He reigned until 1395 when he was deposed in a coup by Enracha, his uncle from the house of Supanapum. This coup marked the end of the Rao Ayutthaya clan and the rise of the Supanapum clan, which would rule over Ayutthaya for almost 200 years. Historical sources vary in relation to the fate of the dethroned monarch. Some say he was banished, some say he was executed. He is merely known as Ram in most historical sources, including the Bradley Chronicle, the British Museum Chronicle, the Panchanamut Chronicle, the Pahanarat Chronicle, and the Royal Autograph Chronicle. A Dutch document written by Johannes van Vliet in 1640 refers to him as Pre-Re'em, Divine Rama, but modern documents often refer to him as Ramaraja, Rama the Lord, or Ramarachatiyat, Rama the Supreme Lord of Lords. The latter is the name accepted by the Historical Revision Commission of Thailand. In 1409, Ram was removed from the throne of Ayutthaya by his relative Enracha, the ruler of Suphanburi, staged a coup against Ram at the initiative of a person called Chao Sinabodi. Ram was in conflict with Chao Sinabodi and ordered his arrest. Having fled to Pathakukam, Chao Sinabodi persuaded Enracha to bring troops from Suphanburi to Ayutthaya and seize the throne. Enracha succeeded in his enterprise and became king of Ayutthaya and banished Ram to Prakucham. Ram remained there until his death, of which the date and time are not known. In documents produced during the Bangkok era, Chao Sinabodi is referred to by the title of Chancellor for Military Affairs, in spite of the fact that such titles did not exist at the time. The Minor War Chronicle states that Ram was just banished because Enracha did not want to kill his own relative. Other accounts give a slightly different piece of information regarding the coup, stating that after Ram had reigned in Ayutthaya for 3 years, Enracha marched his troops in from Suphanburi, successfully seized the throne of Ayutthaya, and put Ram to death. The Magadhi Chronicle and the Buddhist Council Chronicles also state that Enracha did have Ram executed. The coup was part of a series of conflicts between the royal houses of Uthong and Suphanapum. The two clans had long struggled with each other for the throne of Ayutthaya, but the victory of Enracha on this occasion would allow Suphanapum to remain in power over the kingdom of Ayutthaya for almost the next 2 centuries. This concludes our quick look at the Uthong Dynasty. We sincerely hope you enjoyed it. If you ever find yourself in the Kingdom of Thailand, please consider looking into this intriguing aspect of Thai history. If you found this video entertaining or informative, please give us a like and subscribe. Also, if you would like to help support us, please find the link to our Patreon page below. We have provided affiliate links in the description for hotel, travel, and car rentals. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you would like us to cover any places or topics related to Thailand or Southeast Asia, just ask and we will try to accommodate you as quickly as possible. Until next time, thanks for watching.